Hello, everyone. Hi, and welcome to this new session. So it's Thursday again, and we have a new current updates session for today. And here with me is Ananya.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so Ananya, what are we doing today for our current update session?
So today we are continuing what we were doing in the last two sessions. This is some important Indian writers, part three, and that is what we will be covering today.
Okay, so yes, as Ananya said, today we are doing part three of important writers of India, and I think this is going to be the last session for this because in the next current update session we will try to bring something new. So, but for today's session, let's cover some of the more important writers which I thought would be very essential from any exam perspective, not only NET, but also SET, GET, or any PSC exams you guys will be giving. So let's proceed. Okay. So the first writer I will be talking about is Jaspreet Singh. So who is Jaspreet Singh? He is a Canadian writer and chemist. He is the author of the novel Chef, and he also wrote 17 Tomatoes, Tales from Kashmir. It's a collection of linked stories, and here both of these books, Chef and 17 Tomatoes, deal with the damaged landscapes of Kashmir, especially Siachen Glacier. Again, Kashmir is a very important topic, so please do look up these works, right? He also wrote a play called Speak, Oppenheimer, written for Montreal's Infinite Theatre. It involves three physicists, including J. Robert Oppenheimer. He also contributed an essay to the anthology AIDS Sutra, Untold Stories from India. His second novel was Helium, and it was published in 2013. And it tells the story of a young chemistry student whose mentor was murdered in the course of the anti-Sikh riots in 1984. Again, very important historical backdrops. Anti-Sikh riots, turbulence in Kashmir, right? His personal essay about 1984 in India was published in the New York Times as Thomas Bernard in New Delhi. November is a collection of poems by Jaspreet Singh, and his novel Face was published in 2022. So, two very important things to remember about this writer is that his novel Chef and 17 Tomatoes, which talk about Kashmir, and his novel Helium, which talks about the anti-Sikh riots of 1984. Okay, let's go. Let's move on to the next writer. Yes.
Okay, so Annie Zaidi is her first collection of essays is called Known Turf, Bantering with Bandits and Other True Tales. This was shortlisted for the Vodafone Crossword Book Award in 2010. A collection of short stories called The Bad Boy's Guide to the Good Indian Girl was co-authored along with Smriti Ravindra, and this was published by Zuban Books in 2011. In 2019, she also published her fiction novel. It's called Prelude to a Riot, and this was also shortlisted for the JCB Prize for Literature. So her three main works that we can see is Known Turf, Bad Boy's Guide to the Good Indian Girl. This is a collection of stories, and then her fiction novel is called Prelude to a Riot.
Okay, let's move on to the next writer. And before we proceed, if you are new to our channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon for all the notifications of our videos and shorts, right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so the next writer here is Sharanya Manivannan. She is an Indian author, columnist, and poet. She was born in India, but she lived in Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and from 2007 onwards, she is residing in Chennai, India. She received the Lavanya Sankaran Fellowship for 2008-2009. She writes column The Venice Flytrap in the New Indian Express. Her 2018 book, The Queen of Jasmine County, is a fictionalized account of the 9th century Tamil Hindu poet Andal, The Queen of Jasmine County, it's a very important work by Sharanya Manivannan. Her book, The High Priestess Never Marries. It received the 2016 South Asia Ladli Award. These two works by Sharanya Manivannan are very important. The Queen of Jasmine County and The High Priestess Never Marries. Okay. Next. Okay, so before we proceed, here is a small reminder for you all that we have already started our Telangana set quiz series. And here you will be getting quizzes from both paper, for both paper 1 and 2. Here you will get topic-wise quizzes every day and model tests for intensive practice. If you haven't enrolled yet, you can enroll for this course from our website, vallath.in. And the fees for this course is just rupees 899. And here is also a number on the screen where you can contact if you have any further queries regarding this course. Okay. Next.
So Anis Salim is, of course, a very well-known writer. He's an Indian author known for his books like Vanity Bagh, The Blind Lady's Descendants, and The Small Town Sea. These are his books. He's from the town of Varkala and he now lives in Kochi, Kerala. He has also won the Sahitya Academy Award for The Blind Lady's Descendants in 2018, then becoming only the fourth Malayali in history to win the award for an English work.
So here we saw that he got the Sahitya Academy Award for his novel, The Blind Lady's Descendants. So what is this novel about? Since it's a very important work which got the Sahitya Academy Award, it's a bit important to know what this novel is talking about. Why this work was so significant that it got this very prestigious prize, right? So let's see what this novel is about. Here we see that in this novel, born to silently warring parents, Amar Hamsa grows up in a crumbling house called a bungalow, anticipating tragedies and ignominies. True to his dark premonitions, bad luck soon starts cascading into his life. At 26, he decides to narrate his story to an imaginary audience, and skeletons stumble out of every cupboard in the bungalow. The Blind Lady's Descendants is an utterly compelling and haunting family saga, brimming with intense heartache and humor, confirming Anis Salim's reputation as one of our most outstanding storytellers. The Blind Lady's Descendants is an utterly compelling and haunting family saga, which talks about this boy Amar Hamsa. It's a very important work which got the Sahitya Academy Award. Right. Next.
So Vikram Chandra, he is an Indian American writer and he is very well known for Sacred Games. His first novel, Red Earth and Pouring Rain, this won the 1996 Commonwealth Writers' Prize for Best First Book. Now, Sacred Games, written in 2006, is Chandra's another novel. This was set in Mumbai and it features Sartaj Singh, a policeman who first appeared in Love and Longing in Bombay. Then his another work is called Geek Sublime, The Beauty of Code, The Code of Beauty. This is in 2014. And this was a finalist for the National Book Critics Circle Award in Criticism. So his main works that you can see is Red Earth and Pouring Rain. Then Sacred Games, this is also a show on Netflix now, adapted. Then Geek Sublime, The Beauty of Code and The Code of Beauty. These are the important points that you should remember for Vikram Chandra.
Okay, let's move on to the next work and writer. Okay, yes. So next we have a very, very important writer, that is Kiran Nagarkar. So who was he? He was an Indian novelist, playwright, and screenwriter. He was a noted drama and film critic, and he was one of the most significant writers of post-colonial India. And which are his very important works that we should remember? First is Sat Sakkam Trichalis, that is 760s or 43. Then Ravan and Eddie and Cuckold. And for this novel Cuckold, he got the Sahitya Academy Award in 2001. Okay. So very important are these three works: Sat Sakkam Trichalis, Ravan and Eddie and Cuckold. And for this novel, he had actually received the Sahitya Academy Award in 2001. So here I have given a more detailed elaboration of his works, some of his very important works, because Kiran Nagarkar has already been asked about in net already almost twice, right? Especially in the match of the following questions. So I thought it's very important that we look into his works in a more elaborated way. So his first novel was this, Saat Sakam Trachalis, and it was translated into Marathi in 1974. It is considered a landmark work of Marathi literature. And his novel Ravan and Eddie, it was begun in Marathi but completed in English, and it was not published until 1994. Then came his third novel, Cuckold, and it is based upon the mystic Mirabai's husband, Bhojraj. We all remember Mirabai. She was a very famous saint, and she was a devotee of Lord Krishna, right? And this work was published in 1997, and it won the 2001 Sahitya Academy Award. It took him 9 years to write his next novel, God's Little Soldier, a tale of a liberal Muslim boy stressed with religious orthodoxy, which was published in 2006 to mixed reviews. In 2012, we published The Extras, a sequel to Ravan and Eddie that traces the adult lives of Ravan and Eddie in Bollywood. The third and last book in the series is Rest in Peace, and it was written in 2015. And his 2017 novel was Jashoda, and it's a story of a young woman and mother trying to raise her children in the arid lands of Kantagiri. Jashoda shows every lamentable tradition in the hinterlands in stark clarity. It is a testimony, according to the author, to the millions of women in the parched and scorched regions of India and find themselves between a rock and a husband. And his 2019 novel is The Arsonist. It's a reimagining of the life of Kabir. Remember, another saint, the 15th century Indian mystic, poet, and saint. It also critiqued the rise of Hindu majoritarianism in India. So two of his very, very important works are Cuckold and The Arsonist. These two works are very, very important, right? So please try to remember the author and the works. Okay, next.
So Sheela Tomy, she is a novelist and short story writer, again hailing from Wayanad, Kerala. Valli was her debut novel. It was awarded the renowned Cherukar Award for Malayalam Literature in 2021. The English translation of Valli by Dr. Jayashree Kalathil that bags the V. Abdullah Memorial Translation Award in 2023. So this is very current. Sheela is also the author of a short story collection called Melquiades Pralay Pustakam. It is Melquiades' Book of Floods, and it was published in 2012. Nadiodu Peru Chori Karut, pardon my pronunciation. It's translated as Don't Ask the River Her Name, and her newest work. Now, this was awarded the Muthukulam Parvati Amma Literature Prize and the Maniur Balan Novel Award in 2024. So she's of course a very proficient writer from Kerala. Do definitely check out her works later.
Okay. Okay, so that's all for tonight from our side. But in today's session, I believe we have covered some of the very important contemporary writers of India like Kiran Nagarkar, Vikram Chandra, Sheela Tomy, right? Then Jaspreet Singh. Their works are very important. They're talking about very relevant contemporary issues, right? Be it the issue of Kashmir or the issue of the 1994 Sikh riots. They're not contemporary events, but they are still very relevant to our Indian scenario till today. And please do look up these writers in a more detailed fashion. Like Kiran Nagarkar specifically, then Jaspreet Singh, Sheela Tomy. They're very important contemporary storytellers and writers, right? So that's all from our side. And before we leave, I would just like to give you all a reminder that we have already started this quiz series for Telangana set. If you haven't enrolled yet, hurry and get enrolled for this course from our website, vallabh.in. And the fees for this course is just rupees 899. Here you will get quizzes for both paper 1 and 2. and also model tests for intensive practice, right? So that's all for tonight. I really hope you guys enjoyed the discussion, and the writers we also talked about. Do look up their works in a more elaborated way. And so that's all. And do like the session and share this with your friends. So shall we wrap up, Ananya?
Yes, definitely. And everyone has benefited so much from this session. I had never seen Kiran Nagarkar's photo before, the session. So and I used to think that it's not a he, it's a she, like it's a female writer. So I hope some sort of pictorial representation has helped. And of course, the session has been very, very informative, like always. Good night, everyone.
Yes. So